Here today we are discussing about depression. Depression is a common mental disorder. Globally, more than 264 million people of all ages suffer from depression. Depression is a leading cause of disability worldwide and is a major contributor to the all-over global burden of disease. Let's see the definition of depression. Depression is a common and serious medical illness that negatively affects how you feel, the way you think, and how you act. Fortunately, it is also treatable. Depression causes feelings of sadness and loss of interest in activities you once enjoyed. The classification of depression according to ICD-10 we will see. It is divided into different classifications like first one, depressive episode, second, mild depressive episode, then moderate depressive episode, severe depressive episode without psychotic symptoms, severe depressive episode with psychotic symptoms, other depressive episodes like atypical depressive episode, then depressive episode unspecified, and the last is recurrent depressive disorder. Next, classification based on severity. We will see here it is divided into three types: mild, moderate, and severe. Then, classification based on the etiological factor. It is divided into two types: endogenous and exogenous. Then, classification based on the symptoms. We can see atypical depression, melancholic depression, catatonic depression, postpartum depression, seasonal affective disorder, recurrent brief depression, or dysthymia. So these are the classifications according to the severity, etiological factor, and the symptoms. Now we will see the etiology of the depression, how it happens. So these are the main reasons. First is biological theories, due to neurochemical, due to genetic theories, endocrine theories, circadian rhythm theories, changes in brain anatomy, psychosocial theory, psychoanalytic theory, behavior theory, cognitive theory, sociological theory, transactional model of stress or adaptation. These are the factors responsible for depression. Let's see one by one. First is biological theories. It says alterations in neurochemical, genetic, endocrine, and circadian rhythm functions. Due to this, depression can occur. Next is neurotransmitters. People feel depression when norepinephrine and serotonin levels decreases in our body, and also it can be seen dysregulation of acetylcholine and GABA in our body. Next is genetic theories. It says major depressive disorders occur more in first degree relatives than in general population studies of identical twins. Sure, when one twin is diagnosed with major depression. Next is endocrine theories. Hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, a system that mediates the stress response. Due to its malfunctions, depression can occur. Abnormality of cortisol, thyroid, and hormone. Next is circadian rhythm theories. It is responsible for the daily regulation of weak sleep cycles, arousal and activity patterns, and hormonal situations. Individuals experiencing these changes are at increased risk for developing depressive symptoms. These changes might be caused by medications, nutritional deficiencies, physical or psychological illnesses, or hormonal fluctuations. Next is changes in brain anatomy. It says loss of neurons in the frontal lobes, cerebellum, and basal ganglia has been identified in depression. Next, psychosocial theories. It says Psychoanalytical theory, according to Freud, depression results due to loss of loved objects and fixation in the oral sadistic phase of development. In this model, mania is viewed as a denial of depression. Next is behavioral theory. This theory of depression connects depressive find a manner to experience of uncontrollable events. According to this model, depression is conditioned by repeated losses in the past. Next, cognitive theory. According to this theory, depression is due to negative cognitions, which includes negative expectations of the environment, negative expectations of the self, negative expectations of the future. This defect in cognitive development causes the individual to feel inadequate, worthless, and rejected by others. Next, sociological theory. Stressful life events, for example, death, marriage, financial loss before the onset of the disease. The last is transactional model of stress and adaptation. According to this model, depression occurs as a combination of predisposing factors, past experiences, and existing conditions. Because of weak ego strength, patient is unable to use coping mechanisms effectively. Maladaptive coping mechanisms used as denial, regression, repression, suppression, displacement, and isolation. Let's see the clinical features of the depression. 5 or more of the following symptoms have been present during the same 2 weeks period and represent a change from previous functioning. At least one of the symptoms is either depressed mood or anhedonia, loss of interest or pleasure. Note, do not include symptoms that are clearly due to another medical condition. In this, we will see total 9 symptoms. In this, we will see total major 9 symptoms. Among them, 5 at least symptoms should be present for the 2 weeks period. And among these 5, at least one of the symptoms, either depressed mood or either anhedonia, should be present. The first one, depressed mood most of the day, nearly every day, as indicated by other subjective report. For example, feeling sad or empty, hopeless. Second symptom, anhedonia, which means markedly diminished interest or pleasure in all or almost all activities most of the day, nearly every day. Third one, significant weight loss when not dieting or weight gain or decrease or increase in appetite nearly every day. Fourth is insomnia or hypersomnia nearly every day. Fifth is psychomotor agitation or retardation nearly every day. Sixth symptom is fatigue or loss of energy nearly every day. Seventh is feeling so worthlessness or excessive or inappropriate guilt nearly every day. The eighth symptom is diminished ability to think or concentrate or indecisiveness nearly every day. The last symptom is recurrent thoughts of death, not just feeling dying. Recurrent suicide ideation without a specific plan or suicide attempt or specific plan for committing suicide. Features also we can see like depressive cognitions like hopelessness, helplessness, worthlessness, unreasonable guilt and self-blame over trivial matters in the past. Suicide thoughts, ideas of hopelessness, no longer worth living and think that death had come as a welcome relief. Psychotic features, some patients have delusions and hallucinations. These are often more congruent. Other symptoms like psychomotor retardation is frequent. The retarded patient thinks, walks and acts slowly, Slowing of thought is reflected in the patient's speech, questions are off and answered after long delay, and in a monotonous voice. In older patient, we can see anxiety, restlessness, and feelings of uneasiness. Difficulties in thinking and concentration, subjective poor memory, menstrual or sexual disturbances, vague symptoms such as fatigue, aching, discomfort, constipation, etc. For the diagnostic evaluations, how we can assess the depression level. First is history taking process and mental status examination. Then psychological tests like Beck, depression inventory, Hamilton rating scales. Third is dexamethasone suppression test showing failure to suppress cortisol secretions in the depressed patients. Fourth is toxicology screening suggesting drug-induced depression. And the last is according to ICD-10 criteria we can judge the depression level. Let's see the treatment modalities which we can offer to such patients. In that, psychopharmacology, antidepressant drugs we can give like selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors SSRI, tricyclic antidepressant drugs, then monoamine oxidase inhibitors, then mood stabilizers also we can give for fluctuating either too high or too low mood. To balance that such a mood, we can give mood stabilizers. In the physical therapies, we can give electroconvulsive therapy, light therapy, repetitive transcranial magnetic stimulation. We can give psychotherapy, cognitive therapy, supportive psychotherapy, group therapy, family therapy, behavior therapy. Let's see the nursing diagnosis which we can do in depressive patients. First is high risk of self-directed violence related to depressed mood, feelings of worthlessness, anger directed inward on the self. Next is dysfunctional grieving related to real or perceived loss, bereavement evidenced by denial of loss, inappropriate expression of anger, inability to carry out activities of daily living. Third is powerlessness related to dysfunctional grieving process, lifestyle of helplessness, evidenced by feelings or lack of control over life situations, over dependence on others to fulfill needs. Next is self-esteem disturbance related to learned helplessness, impaired cognition, negative view of self, evidenced by expression of worthlessness, sensitivity to criticism, Roma negative and pessimistic outlook. Next is altered communication process related to depressive cognition, evidenced by being unable to interact with others, withdrawn, expressing fear of failure or rejection. Next, altered sleep and rest related to depressed mood and depressive cognitions, evidenced by difficulty in falling asleep, early morning or weekly verbal complaints of not feeling well rested. Next, altered nutrition, less than body requirements related to depressed mood, lack of appetite or lack of interest in food, evidenced by weight loss, poor muscle tone, pale conjunctiva, poor skin turgor. Next, self-care deficit related to depressed mood, feelings of worthlessness evidenced by poor personal hygiene and grooming. So these are the nursing diagnoses we can do in depressive patients. Hope you understood well about the causes, symptoms and management of the depressive patients.